bullet journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so and hit the bell for notifications so you'll always know when I've published a new video. Okay, today what I'm going to do is share with you my goals for 2019, how I'm tracking them, and what I'm doing to celebrate as I reach each one. All right, let's get to it. Okay, let's start with my vision board for 2019. So this I created in my bullet journal, which is housed inside of a traveler's notebook from my Etsy shop. And I broke it up into key areas I thought were important. So here I have spiritual and emotions, or spirit and emotions, business, health, finance, and family. And in the very middle I have a scripture from James 4:13 through 17, which basically says that, God determines what's going to happen ultimately in our lives, so we should always be seeking Him even with our own plans, realizing that our plans may not coincide with His. So I wanted to make sure I always remember that and focus on that, and that I'm always seeking God throughout the year as I'm trying to reach my goals and the things that I have planned for my life. I want to make sure I'm remembering or looking for what His plans are. And so then under each area I put like the key things that I wanted to accomplish in those different areas. Some of them are things that that are finite, like I can say, this is a task that I want to complete in this year, and I can check it off once it's done. And some of them will take all year to do, and then I will evaluate how well I did on them. So the ones that are under spirit and emotions and health, for example, they're not like something that I would accomplish within a few months and check off. They're things that I need to be trying to do throughout the year, and then at the end of the year what I'm going to do is just put a percentage next to them. And if I felt like I accomplished it at least 85% of the time, then I will put a red star with gold trim, and I'll talk about that in a second, next to it, because then I feel like I really did a good job toward that particular goal. So under spirit and emotions I have attend Celebrate Recovery at least 3 times per month, because once a month I go to an art event. And Celebrate Recovery is not just for drugs and alcohol or any type of addiction. It's also for anything in your life that you had struggles with, any life issues that you want to continually overcome. And so in my case, if you follow my channel, you know that I suffered from PTSD and I've completed therapy, and so now every week I go to Celebrate Recovery because it encourages you to talk about those things so that you can maintain healthy or continue to be healthy. And so that is something that I'll be able to evaluate and see, did I do that most of the year. So the other things that you can see there about my church and things that I want to do to encourage other people. And then the same kind of things are down here under health as well. My stretching, my walking, my icing, my getting enough sleep, having routines where I start at a certain time of the day and try to end at another time of the day, and have fewer carbs, because those do affect my inflammation and just how I feel overall. So those things are like that. But then I do have some things in some other areas that I can actually mark off. So when I do it, I'm coloring it with a gold red star and putting gold trim around it. And so for instance, I put, per my analysis, sell what sells on Etsy in my shop. So I did some analysis of what happened last year, and I know what to focus on more this year. And so I completed that analysis, so I put a star. I wanted to add inserts into my product line, and I've done that, and so I put a star. I wanted to pay my fees for my sorority. I've done that, so I put a star. So I have about 18 things that I can check off as completed at some point in the year and not have to wait to the end of the year to evaluate. Of course I'll be evaluating throughout the year, but to put an actual percentage, will take the whole year to do that. So anything that I can check off, then I'm putting the star, and I have about 18 of those things. And so when I reach 9 of them, I'm going to treat myself to some sort of experience, not buying any material thing, but something like going to the spa, things like that, getting my nails done because I never do. So I will be able to do that twice since I have 18 things. So that's something exciting and to look forward to. And then if I reach my sales goal for Etsy, which I'll get into more detail in a moment, then I'm going to definitely do a big giveaway and thank people, celebrate that with others. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, before I go to my monthly setup in here to kind of show you how I plan throughout the month or each month to reach those goals, I'm going to show you how I broke down my business goals to make sure that I can reach them. Okay, so now we're going to go into my business bullet journal. So the one we were just in is my everything everyday bullet journal. Both are housed in my traveler's notebook. And then this one is broken up into Etsy, YouTube, and Patreon, which I'm going to start a Patreon this year. But so one of the goals is for me to research that. So I'm still in that phase. So I don't have anything to show for Patreon right now. But once I research and know what to set goals for, then I will. So I have Etsy in the front. And then those here, this is just covering up some passwords and things, but here I've got my index of all the different things, and then my goals that I have for the last 2 years and the current year. So in 2017, my primary business was publishing, and I decided to get out of that business. It was a successful business, but it just was hard on my body, setting up and tearing down and going to all the different things, events, which is kind of important when you're selling books, and I just have some limitations with that, but I did well for that being kind of just a side thing to be looking into. But I should have done better in 2018, but 2018 was a huge transitional year for me. I moved to another state, which was not an original plan, and I then had to work this part-time job, which was very stressful and was supposed to be a lot fewer hours than it was. And then I also didn't realize, or came to realize, that I was suffering from PTSD and had to go to therapy, or decided to go to therapy, which was wonderful, and I completed all of that. But it was a lot of transitions, and everything that I wanted to get done didn't get done. I think I actually moved the middle of 2017, but it wasn't really moving. It was helping my daughter get started in new school. We didn't decide until October of that year to physically move. And so anyway, it just was a difficult year, but a blessed year all at the very same time, though, that whole period. And so so I didn't reach all the goals that I wanted to, but I did, have some growth to my shop. And so now that I have fully transitioned to everything, back to running my businesses full-time, focused on Etsy and YouTube and then Patreon, all of my artistic things. I've completed PTS therapy. I'm maintaining good emotional health, spiritual health through my church and through Celebrate Recovery. And so I have new sets of goals that are spelled out right here on this page. And so I've got the number that I want to sell, the number of favorites I want to have on my shop, starting with this number, which what it was as of January 31st. I've always had 5 stars maintained on my shop, but the number I want to do, and then increasing my repeat customers by 15%. And so then on this next page, I started with the 2019 actions that are required to reach those goals, those 3 goals or 4 goals. 4, right? Yeah, 4 goals. What are the things that I need to do that? So I wrote out these 21 general statements of different things that are required to make that happen. Selling products that fit my skill level, interest, time, commitment, and budget, selling things that sell, marketing to my specific target audience, buying necessary equipment that I need, buying things at the right price, selling at the right price, all these different things that are important for a business and marketing, and really thinking those things through, which I did not do before, because it was a side thing for my other business, and then I had all those transitions. So I just wrote all of these things I could think of that are really important to make it, like studying Etsy, really researching everything, really knowing all throughout the year, and checking to see what changes and what changes need to be made and what emphasis needs to be made and all those different things. And then I took each one of those 21 and I broke them down. So I went into more depth. I actually wrote down who bought what they bought, what kind of stars they gave me, what part of the country they were in, how much did they pay, how much did I charge for shipping, and I came down to specific things that I felt like that evidence tells me that of what sells, what I need to focus on, and what things I can change, what my target audience is, so I can focus on them whenever I market, equipment that I needed to buy. And I just broke all those things down. I bought some of those things, and then I laid out everything for doing the analysis to determine what's the most competitive prices. So I'm starting that now. For all the different things that I sell in my shop. So I'm doing the research of 5 different companies or businesses or sites that sell the things that I sell, and figuring out what's the best price based on that research. And then I'm preparing all my sales for the year, my coupon codes, marking down the coupon codes that I've already established and the ones that I know I need to in different areas. Doing my competitive shipping analysis, figuring out, now that I've got my new scale, exactly how much everything should weigh and whether or not it would be cheaper through Etsy or USPS for me to ship and charge customers. So all those different kinds of things are in here, things to do to generate repeat customers. My marketing plan, which is I wrote out specific things in there that I know are part of it, and some of those things are incorporated in other areas. And then my monthly budget pages are all laid up. I've got to fill out for January, but they're all set up for the year. And then, research, asking for help, looking at sponsorships, so keeping track. So there's a couple of other things I need to finish, write a little bit of detail on. But that's what is on there for Etsy. And then on YouTube, got my index, and then my goals for that, because I used to earn money through YouTube and then they changed the requirements, and so now I'm creeping back to those standards so that I can start earning money again from YouTube. So I want to make sure that happens this year. I'm getting close. My number of subs that I want, and at least one new sponsorship, and this is what the number was as of December 31st. And so my number of subscribers is quite a bit higher now. And then actions like before, actions required to reach those goals. My new filming, or my new upload schedule, will be every Tuesday and Thursday from now on, starting February 1st. So every video will be published on Wednesdays and Fridays. And yeah, and so then some video ideas. Posting, I want to make sure I post to the community tab every Saturday, and I'm going to mark that as I do it starting February 1st. And then my monthly goals, tracking those things that I wanted to do, accomplish those 3 goals in 2019, reaching my 4,000 hours in a 12-month period, my sub number and my sponsorship number, and so I'll be putting those in there. And then my budget, I'm not really going to spend any new money this year specifically on YouTube, but there are a few things that I want to get, and I'm going to ask for those for my birthday, Mother's Day, and Christmas. And so I should get those, a new camera specifically for YouTube, because I use my phone right now, a vlogging camera for my vlogs, and then a different professional microphone because I don't like the one that I have. And then I still need to write some things out about sponsorships and relationships. Okay, and now I'm going to show you kind of what I do each month to kind of get those things broken down throughout the year. Okay, so here's an example. This is my January title page and goals page, and so I always break that up by personal, business, Etsy, and YouTube. And so you can see some of the things that were on my vision board or on here, or are sort of mentioned here, like my husband and I have an annual financial planning meeting every January, and so we've done that. And my routines that help me meet those goals spiritually and more specifically physically. I've established all of those. I kicked off a meetup for my Organized Planner Chic Crew Facebook group, which will be in 2020. So if you're interested in that, be sure and check out the group, and the link to that is in the comments below. And then finalizing the business budget, finalizing vacation days, also establishing or adding inserts to my shop is down there, my trackers and routines for both Etsy and YouTube, and the videos that I wanted to do this month. And so yeah, and then I just take those things and I put them on my calendar, and then I break them up by the weeks. Alright, well, I hope this video blessed you guys today. If it did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All of my subscribers get an additional discount from my Organized Planner Chic Etsy shop, and that discount is in the comments below. And be sure and check out the Organized Planner Chic Crew Facebook group, where I create a free coloring page like this, uncolored, it's watercolored, but a blank version of this is available with and without a calendar included. For the month of January for anyone who is a member of the group. And also, thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. Until next time, happy planning!